Biter! Nice.
Hey, good Sunday morning, everybody. It is so great to be with you all. That was a scene from the wheelhouse of the gray light out of Cisco Sportfishing in Oxnard, catching white sea bass. Man, we have got so much for you. In fact, let me paint a picture for you of the offshore scene out of San Diego. The night bite is really starting to come on. And Isaac and Ethan Parcells were out on the Highliner, just getting back in to the landings in San Diego right now. And what a trip they had. 8-year-old Ethan caught a 70-pound bluefin. You'll see it in about 5 minutes at night. And the Highliner crew was awesome. But out there, they saw these by-the-wind sailors carpeting the ocean's surface. And mola molas, sunfish, feeding on them. Whales everywhere, all kinds of life. It was a magnificent scene. And then you get to fish. I mean, that's what makes this sport so wonderful. The fact that you get to see all of these marvels of nature and catch some fish while you're doing it. It is really outstanding. So we're going to cover that bluefin tuna bite, which is coming on and really looking good with daytime fish also. Even a boat out of Davies Locker, Newport Beach, the Thunderbird got a piece of that bluefin tuna. That signals the start of the season for the boys up here in this neck of the woods. Also, we're watching that halibut and white sea bass bite up there in the Channel Islands, as well as those big yellowtail at San Clemente Island, and so much more, including the surf fishing tournament. Why don't you come over and have a fish taco with me this afternoon at the Redondo Rod and Gun Club? Hey, you know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, that is so good and so necessary on a Sunday morning. Hope you're doing great. It's great to be with you all once again as we are watching some tremendous fishing. Let me just give you the scene up from San Francisco on the California Dawn. Wow, their halibut bite up there this year has been off the charts. Wonderful fishing up there, and they had near limits of stripers on that trip also. Of course, we want to get into what is going on down in San Diego. Let us do that right now, because that bite is coming on several boats with big nights last night, biting on the jigs at night, and I mean good fishing going on. We talked to several of the long-range guys in the last 24 hours, let's say the Intrepid, the American Angler, Polaris Supreme just getting in from a 3-day trip with just a tick under 100 bluefin tuna, and last night was a night to remember. Toby was on the Game Changer, a 6-pack, and it's his first trip as a second captain, and he was so thrilled. They had a great bite last night. 10 bluefin for 6 guys, 60 to 100 10-pounders. Toby said the BFT were chewing on that 300-gram SK, the Daiwa SK jig, working really, really well. So some fine fishing and several other boats, as I mentioned, were in on it last night. So that night bite has been good. Now, I was talking to Isaac Parcells, who was on the Highliner, and he was telling me 300 to 500-gram jigs are what you need to be bringing right now. They're fishing in a little bit different area, and that was what was working. So that 300 SK jig is really, really good. You're going to have to get some of those rip rollers or your favorite jig, whatever it is you like and that you're hot with and that's worked good for you in the past. That's what you want to fish with. You want 2-speed reels. They're sizable fish, 60 to 110 pounds, with some fish that get up over 150 on occasion. So that is all good stuff. But I have to put you on the deck. I have to, of the Highliner, because it was such a beautiful thing to see. Father and son working together with the great crew of the Highliner. And I'm saying that because Isaac Parcells said, Phil, this crew, they are beyond fantastic. They are all over helping everybody. The food is great. The service is wonderful. Highliner sounds like a great rig to me. So let's put you on the deck and watch a little bit of Isaac coaching 8-year-old Ethan, who catches a 70-pound bluefin tuna in about 5 minutes.
Ethan, what are you doing? It's midnight past your bedtime, buddy. Woo. Captain Jason put this on him. Woo! Work it. Either way, you gotta start working up the rail. Say, coming over. I got you. Go, follow Captain Jason. Say, coming over.
Tell me when you're ready. Born ready, all right.
There you go. That's what we like here. Born ready. All right, work it up, buddy. Work up the rail. Say, coming over. All right, come up. Say, coming up.
Jump on the surface. I see.
Right. Keep it tight. There you go.
Phil, on really good, guys.
Woo!
All right, we're coming over, you guys.
Woo! 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 You got it, buddy?
Keep going.
Keep whining.
Go.
Go. Get color. Get close. Woo!
Watch out.
Fine. These right here. You got color. Come on, Ethan. You
All right,
killed
keep
it.
your rod right
Keep your rod straight. You killed it.
Okay.
You all right, Mike?
Oh, we're all right. Big one.
He's a big one.
Get ready.
Here it is. All right. Woo! Ethan, look at that. All right, Ethan, what you got? You killed it.
Here, hold up.
Hold up. Oh, keep your rod up. Get close to the rail. Stick it. Oh, here you go. Oh. Okay, let me take the rod.
Ethan, you have all my respect. What a great job you did, my friend. I can't wait to high five you when I see you again. You and your dad are such important members of the Friedman Adventure family, and I am so happy for you. 4 fish for those guys. Beautiful trip. Just outstanding fishing, and it just keeps going on and on and on. So it is getting much better. The daytime bite is also starting to come on pretty well right now. Now, it's a little bit further for some of the boys, but those local guys are starting to get a piece of it also. Scott Bucher, you know Scotty, he decked on the Point Loma yesterday. They had 3 bluefin tuna, but they saw a lot of fish and it was getting more and more active, starting to come together in a big way. The San Diego had 12 yellows, 2 bluefin tuna yesterday, and some other guys getting in on some of that kelp patty yellowtail and some of that bluefin tuna. It seems like those daytime fish are biting best on a Daiwa Sakana type lure, megabait type lure, something like that. 80 to 100 grams is just about right, and you want to fish that on at least 60 pound. I'd like to see you throwing that with 60 to 80 pound. That will give you an advantage in case you do hook one of those really big fish. So, man, I'll tell you, daytime starting to come on, and nighttime really, really good. Now, the question is, can we maintain some consistency? Because, you know, we put our foot on the gas here, and then we take it off. Because it's kind of like still early spring in terms of water temperatures out there. So we'll keep our eyes on it for you very, very closely. Incidentally, I know you're going to say, this guy is crazy about albacore. The boys where they are fishing right now, they are in a prime zone to catch an early season albacore. You keep that in mind. I really like where the fleet is fishing. Those by the wind sailors, you know, there's krill, there's all kinds of cold water evidence, should we say. Yeah, I think that could be something that happens here in the month of June, if not before that. So we'll keep our eyes on it, continue to monitor it for you very, very closely. Thunderbird out of Davies Locker in Newport Beach. They said, let's go out and check it out and see what's going on with our bluefin tuna. Can we catch some? Davies Locker, Newport Beach, Thunderbird. 8 bluefin tuna, and they had some heartbreaks. They lost a few fish on this trip. They also had 4 yellowtail, but that gives them a piece of that action. And if they want to focus on that, some of these LA Orange County-based boats, now the door is open to do it. A lot of guys are going to stay with sea bass and halibut and rockfish, that kind of a thing, because we've seen some flurries of sea bass that have been absolutely outstanding. But again, that door now is open, so you're going to be wanting to check with the landings and seeing where they are going to go. And a lot of guys, you know, make their decision at the very last minute. Some guys are asking us what I'm going to do, or what the boat is going to do. The Apollo on our trip on the 31st that is departing on the 31st, and it's way too early to ascertain that. And I always defer to a great captain like Greg Obi-Mako. We will see where that all goes, but it is really looking good offshore. Now, that is not to say every single boat slammed the fish. It is not to say that, but we had really good nighttime fishing for a lot of boats last night, getting a good daytime signal, and I love what is happening. All that life out there, that is truly something to behold. Incidentally, those sunfish, the mola molas, were feeding on those by the wind sailors. Just another wonderful thing to take witness of. Really great stuff. All right, let's take a look at what's going on with our local islands. And I should say, I'm talking about Clemente and Santa Barbara and Nicholas and all of those places. Freedom had 4 halibut. I'm not mentioning the rockfish counts here. Most of these guys had good rock fishing, but the Freedom with 4 halibut. The Toronado limits of white sea bass out of Pier Point Landing in Long Beach. Outstanding fishing on board the Toro. Great hit for them 18 guys with 18 white sea bass. They also had a nice yellowtail. El Dorado had a shot at the exotics, didn't get them. finished up with tons of rockfish for everybody. The rockfish bite remains really, really excellent. And at Catalina Island, pursued out a yellowtail and halibut, a few halibut, and a lot of shallow water rockfish. There's been some flurries of forkies over there at Catalina Island here recently. The pursuit the other day had 9 yellows, so that's starting to settle down quite a bit also. And up and down the coast, the rockfish bite has been excellent. A lot of guys, local boats like City of Long Beach, guys like that, sometimes will focus on the sculpin first, get you a limited sculpin, and then focus in on the rockfish. Cooler water, you know, I mean, this local bite, slowly but surely, maybe we'll start to catch a few barracuda, even a few sand bass. I am not predicting that by any stretch of the imagination. That's been a long time since we've had a consistent local barracuda bite and any kind of a bite on the sand bass where those, you know, big flurries of sand bass get on the flats. But who knows, in this cold water year, anything is possible. Speaking of Catalina Island, the guys from the Tuna Club, the Tuna Club Ofield White Sea Bass Tournament. There was a tournament. And a guy by the name of Rob Webster, who just sounds like a prince of a guy, just grateful to be out fishing, he wrote on Facebook. And man, I'll tell you, those guys are awesome guys. And they had a great tournament because they caught 5 of the sea bass you see there on 8-pound class Dacron, and the rest on 12 pounds. So Rob, great job showing others the beauty of sport fishing and how much fun it can be. No question about that. All right, let's go to the Channel Islands. Sea bass bite is on one day and off the next. Tucker McCombs, the great captain of the Endeavor, explained that to you, how these fish in the water temperature that we have right now are squirrely. They're moving around. You got to get on them. When you get on them, they bite, but sometimes it's a little difficult to get on those darn things. The CJ yesterday, you know, they had limits of sea bass the day before. They come up with 14 nice flatties. Beautiful job on the CJ out of Cisco's and Oxnard. Nice halibut bite for them, and you have got to love that. Pacific Dawn, 3 halibut. Island Tack, 4 halibut. Island Fox, 6 halibut. And once again, I'm not mentioning all the rockfish. That goes without saying. These guys are trying to get a bite on those sea bass, and sometimes they get them, and sometimes they don't up there in that neck of the woods. The Island Spirit, our friend Nick Ramirez, was out there with Cody Rogers, and Nick said he is definitely going to go back out of Ventura Harbor sport fishing and fish on board the Island Spirit because of the professionalism of the crew. I saw that firsthand. I fished with Cody and his crew, and you know, I watched the crew on the way out go from rod to rod to rod, checking the knots, checking the rig. If they saw something they didn't think was right, they'd run the guy down, they'd bring him over, they'd teach him the correct way to rig up. I mean, it was a beautiful thing to see, and man, that kind of customer service is just fantastic. Incidentally, my hat's off to the crews here in Southern California. The great job they are doing. San Diego-based boats, wow. There's no better fleet in the world than everybody else up there in Oxnard and up and down our coast, for the most part, are really providing great customer service and doing a fantastic job. So we have got some really good signal on that bluefin tuna. I like what we are seeing there. Kelp patty yellowtail fishing's been a little bit on the tougher side, so you might want a fly line with 25-pound fluorocarbon, www.opsonusa.com. Number 20 hook with a Dean, a good hot Dean. That will get the job done. Just in case you hook a bluefin, a lot of that fish that we are seeing caught in the daytime, it seems to be that 20 to 40 pound grade fish, but once in a while, you never know, you can get bit up by one of those big ones. And what a day it was to celebrate Isaac and Ethan Parcell. Wow, father and son, that's what this sport is all about. A dad teaching his son about the sport he loves so much, seeing all these great spectacles of nature, from whales to by the wind sailors, to seeing the mola molas munch out on those by the wind sailors, and so much more, with birds picking everywhere. That area is lively, full of life, and suggests to me that we're looking down the barrel of another good day here today, and perhaps tonight again. We'll see that bluefin tuna start to chew. All right, lots to watch for you. Hopefully that sea bass bite goes back off again here. We'll watch the local situation and see what's going on. There is another grunion run today tonight, I should say, on Southern California, Northern Baja beaches for that matter. So you've got tonight and tomorrow night if you're a grunion aficionado, and that's another thing that you'd be wise to show the family. It is really awesome. All right, my friends, what can I say? It is an awesome Sunday morning. It is so great to be with you all. And of course, if you need special updates, I will have them for you. Now, one more time again, I will see you. Don't sit around today. Get up. Get over to the Redondo Rod and Gun Club. Come over and have a fish taco with yours truly. I'll be shooting a video over there. We'll be celebrating and seeing what won the surf fishing tournament. The 75th year that they put this on. It's a remarkable thing. And if you like the address to the place, all you got to do is show up at 3 o'clock. Just go to Redondo Rod and Gun Club.com and you'll be all set. What can I say? Tremendous fishing last night. Great to be with you all, and I hope to see you this afternoon. If not, I hope to see you really, really soon. Have a great one, my friends.